G'day everyone, and welcome to another prospect. So on my last video I put up, I did that 5-day prospect and I found those couple of good gullies where I was, picked up 6 or 7 grams out of the middle of the gully. So there's been fires come through. The Western Yalanji Rangers went through and lit the place up yesterday out of the helicopter. So I'm back in those same gullies, and I've come straight onto the first real nice inside bend. And straight away, I'm on the gold. Look at that, there's a nice 2-grammer in there and 5 little ones as well. So we'll have a bit of a look at this inside bend. So that was the first nugget I picked up. Right there, sort of just on that apex of high ground. You can see the gully goes across there, little side gully goes up to the right, but the main gully swings right around to the left. And there's beautiful inside bend. And straight away I picked up a nugget. And then I did a low line around the grass line and got nothing. And I did a high line back through there and I got a bit of ground noise there, but no gold. And then I came and got on this just a slight ridge that runs right through the center here. Now, after years of digging inside bends, usually when you get this, just a slight, area where you've had a bit of flat ground and then it's just a bit more tapered off and then it goes flat again. Usually there's a reason for that, whether it's a big clay bed or bedrock. In this case, it's bedrock. So, there's possibly gold on other parts of this inside bend, but your detector's got to be able to hear it. So I came along, right along this ridge line through the center, and that's where I got that nice nugget there. It was about 8 or 10 inches deep as well. It was pretty deep. So always good to see a bit of chunky gold come out. It should go 2 grams without a problem. And then, another little one. I got 2 little ones out of that hole and then 1 little one there. Now, to further illustrate my point, I'll come around here a bit more. And you can actually see the bedrock hanging out of the ground here. So that's, a good indicator that the ground's really shallow. So I'll do another strip down along this good run and probably one up real higher than I've been before I leave this inside bend, but pretty happy with that. If all the inside bends above me do that, it's going to be a pretty good day. So something different today. I won't be in the gully so much. I'll be out of the gully chasing terraces and inside bends. So that's what this video will be concentrating on. Righto, I've got some gold to find. Look at the smoke still hanging in the hills from yesterday. Wouldn't surprise me if fires start up again today too. Alright, so I've come up a fair few inside bends now and haven't picked up any more gold off them. I did get a couple of little bits off a low terrace that the grass had burned off so I could get at it. But this inside bend here, it was actually featured in my last video. Now, this old hole here, that's where I got like a 1.2 gram nugget out of there. So I've come back onto this one and I had a good swing right over it. Now I got some ground noise there and I was pretty confident it was ground noise, so I dug it already. But I have got a couple of signals, so we'll have a listen. So anyone that saw that video would have known how grassed up this bank was, and now look at it, it's like, detecting a billiard table. And here we go. That sounds pretty good. And then there was one right up here as well, right up high. Bit of a warble too, so it's probably a flat half grammy or 3/4 grammy or something. And that one down there sounds good as well. So I'll dig both these out and show you what I got. Well, there's the first one out of the high hole, out of the one up top. It's probably only 0.3 or something like that, but still good to know it's still here and good chance that other target's a bit of gold as well. So let's go down there and dig out that loud one now. So the loud one was pretty shallow, ended up being a chunk of lead. You can't win them all, as they say. You can see the gully's starting to get pretty small now, but that doesn't matter. An inside bend's still an inside bend. So I've got a nice target there where the pick is. It's just a little target. And you can see the creek just does one little curve, Little bit of flat ground here, much lower than all the hills around it. Not as steep as the rest of the banks. All those banks were quite steep. And then this one bit of flat ground, bang, gold for sure. Well, I thought that last time and dug out a bullet, so maybe I shouldn't speak too early. This could well go to that museum of useless artifacts collection I've got. She's gold. So you can see, once I started to dig down, got down to sort of that 3 inches depth, I started hitting some good bedrocky looking stuff, and that's when I was confident. So yeah, another bit in the jar, going well. I've probably got 4 grams or so by now, I'd say. So it's been a good day so far. Just sneaking along, taking my time, checking all the inside banks and jumping back in the gully, because the gully itself's burnt out too. I mean, you might remember this was, 6 foot high of grass only 2 days ago. And now there's no grass, so I'm detecting the gully as well, trying to pick up any I missed on that first run. All right, might be time for a feed and then a good drink and back into it again. All right, so now I've pushed so far up the gully that I'm up into the areas I couldn't work on that first trip because they were too grassy. You can see with how small it was, you could barely see the gravels. So I detect the gully from here on up, and the inside bends take the lot. Listen to this signal. Sounds like a nice bit of gold in there to me. I'm going to dig it out. There we go, a real flat, shiny piece. Check it out. It's bloody shinier than my last date and twice as valuable. Alright, so that was my first close encounter with a snake for a while. I'll probably cut the audio on that one because I nearly stood on it, so it was a bit of a close call, and I swore a bit in that video, and I don't like swearing in my videos. So I'll record this one so you know what went on. I just stood down a little waterfall and there he was at the bottom. And he came up and pretty quick, but he just wanted to get away and so did I, so we both went different directions. So that was good. A little taipan. Anyway, I'm just about done for today. I've picked up probably half a dozen more little nuggets since I did my last video, but just random ones. A lot of them on low terraces, a lot of them down, like you got the creek at this height, and a lot of them been coming off the banks at that height. So I'm just about down to where I started this morning. Right down there at the end of that gully is where I started. So I'm just about done. The detector's going flat. I packed a spare battery, but I'm done for today, I think. Nearly standing on a taipan. I'm about ready to send me home, I think. That was a little bit of a close call. Lucky prospectors are always looking down and looking at their feet, eh? Anyway, another day down. I'll do a weigh-in when we get home. Probably got, I'm guessing, 4 gramish. I haven't had a look for a while, maybe a bit more. So I'll sort of show you what I got when I get back to the buggy, and then we'll do a weigh-in back at camp. Righto, let's make it the rest of this walk without standing on some deadly snakes, eh? So I thought I'd make a quick detour and have a swim on the way home. But anyway, here's what I got for the morning. So not bad really. I'd say that bit up the top's 2 grams. There's a couple of half-grammy bits in there and a few others. So hopefully 4 or 5 grams for the day. I'll take that. We'll find out when I get back to camp and do a good weigh-in. Well, cheers for coming along, and I'm glad you've got to see an inside bend and something different besides just bedrock in a grassy creek. I always like this time of year, because they get to change it up. You've got all the options then. You can detect in the gully or out of the gully, on the hills, wherever you want. So happy times. Anyway, we've got a nice cool stream to jump in and have a bit of a clean before I get back to camp. Righto. Alright, well, another day down. Did some inside bends, had a close encounter with the second deadliest snake in the world. You know, just another day in the life of a prospector. Let's see what this one weighed. I said sort of 2 grams from when I first got it. So, here we go, 1.94. I'll take that. Let's chuck these other ones on. Really do like that nugget. It's so flat and smooth and so shiny. It's a beauty. Nice piece. Alright, let's get it all on there. That's it. 4.28. Yeah, we'll call that 4.3 for the day. Excellent. Happy days. Another day down on the Palmer. I'll have a feed now, have some lunch, probably have a little afternoon snooze today, and then make preparations and do it all again tomorrow. Look at that wind blowing the scales around. Huh? 4.3 is a pretty good call. Right, everyone. Cheers for coming along. See yous.